Some of us have experiences where time stood still, where seconds are irrelevant and you have a sensation of being frozen in space. These moments are often vividly etched into our memories, and I'd like to share with you one moment in my experience where time stood still. The date is memorable to me for two reasons. First of all, my cousin that I'd grown up with was getting married. The location was Custer, South Dakota, in the heart of the Black Hills. And second, it was May 5th, nearly the beginning of summer, and the area was under a severe blizzard warning. As the wedding celebration began to wind down, the reception venue closed, and a handful of us ended up at a large cabin rented by the bride's family. After a bit more celebrating, we decided to call it a night and turn in. But because of the blizzard, instead of traipsing through the snow to our respective cabins, we all found room in the large main cabin and tuckered out for the night. Everything was quiet, and I was just drifting off to sleep when the snoring started. The sound resonated in the huge, spacious cabin all the way down the stairs to the couch where I'd curled up. I knew there was no way I was sleeping through that noise. So I got up to check the time. It was around 3 a.m, according to the oven clock. And I thought, I'll go outside, take a peek at the weather, and see if it's worth walking back to my own cabin. I grabbed a blanket, wrapped it around myself, walked out to the deck of the cabin, and as I shut the door behind me, I heard the automatic lock latch. So I knew at that point I didn't have a choice. I was going to walk back to my own cabin regardless. I looked out and I couldn't see the cabin through the snow. The snow was still coming down, big, huge flakes. The moon was out, so I could see a little bit, but I just couldn't see where my cabin was exactly. And as I was looking around, I saw tracks in the snow, and I thought, well, that's convenient. I'll just follow these tracks back to my cabin. So I started following the tracks, and so I wouldn't get my feet wet, I'd step in the center of the tracks and kind of looking down to make sure my feet go inside of each of the tracks. And after a little while, I heard a branch snap. It was so quiet, there was nothing else out there. And as I hear this branch snap, I bring my gaze up and I see the hind haunches of an animal. Its neck craned around its shoulder to look at me, and I was staring back at it. Its breath left its nostrils, and I could see the steam in the cold air. I was looking at an American bison. I was just feet away from a 2,000-pound herbivore that could run up to 35 miles per hour and had a short temper at best. So that's the moment when time stood still. My brain wasn't functioning. I couldn't do anything except for just look at this predicament that I found myself in. And to be honest, it was pretty amazing. It was like looking at a beautiful portrait. And finally, I don't know how long had gone by, probably 3 seconds, my brain kicked in and told my body to take a step backwards. So I stepped back and kept stepping back until I saw the buffalo turn around and continue on its path. So to summarize this experience, I don't condone following the fluffy cows. I'm so lucky that I didn't end up gored or the subject of a local news headline. Despite all of this, I have an unforgettable moment, and now I know what it's like to experience time standing still.